Hey, tribe, welcome back to RayTube practice question number 33. So stay tuned. Okay, so let's jump into it. A social worker is working with a married couple to help improve their relationship. The social worker receives a phone call from one of the clients and asks the social worker if they could talk about something pertaining to their marriage individually. How should the social worker respond to the client? A, allow the client to discuss their concern since it was important enough to contact the social worker about outside of the scheduled session. B, inform the client that the social worker would need to contact their partner to also be included in the conversation. Or C, encourage the client to discuss it at the next session. Pause the video, reread the question, reread the answer choices, select your best answer, unpause the video, and then we'll jump into the rationale. Okay. If you picked C, you are correct. So with A, allow the client to discuss their concern since it was important enough to contact the social worker about outside of the scheduled session. This is incorrect. Why? This could create a conflict of interest as well as a confidentiality concern between the couple and the social worker. It could also disrupt the therapy process by favoring one partner's perspective over the other, since the social worker would be giving them more time. It's understandable why one spouse could feel some type of way if they found out that their spouse was talking with the social worker behind their back about something. And think about it, right? If you're in couples counseling, let's put ourselves in the client's shoes, right? If we're in couples counseling and we found out that our spouse, our partner, was pretty much having many individuals, one-on-one sessions with our social worker, our therapist, right? It's kind of like, wait a second. When did this come up? When did y'all discuss this? Wait, so we're allowed to speak with you, the social worker, outside of this environment? I didn't know that. Can I call you? Can I, if I need? And then the social worker, of course, would say, social worker, we would say, no, da, da, da. So that's why we want to keep all parties on the same page, and we can see how it can cause just issues within this whole healing process, issues within this whole couples journey. So we don't want to do that. We want to avoid that. And even with the conflict of interest part, think about how someone, again, the client, could perceive this entire situation where it's like, oh, the social worker's on their side. And if you ever worked in this environment before and heard this, even in your personal or again professional life, where if this were to happen and one of the clients were to say, I think the social worker is on my spouse's side because they side with them a lot, or they say certain things, or da 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 da. And again, we just want to avoid all that. And the social worker speaking with one of the clients within that couple, the social worker speaking to one of the clients individually, it can 100% cause that, and D, all of the above potential issues. B is incorrect. Inform the client that the social worker would need to contact their partner to also be included in the conversation. Instead of the social worker agreeing to speak with the couple at an unscheduled time, the social worker should encourage both partners to discuss the issue together during a scheduled session where both people can express their perspectives and collaborate and working towards improving their relationship. And since we're talking with that one client out of the couple on the phone, we would tell them like, hey, bring it to the session, which we're going to jump into C, which is the correct answer. Bring it to next session, because keep this in mind. What are we doing as a social worker? Because if we get a call, right, and one of our clients wants to have a full session and everything like that, it's like, wait a second. How about we have another session lined up as the social worker? How about we have things to do? We have our schedule for a reason. And if they're calling outside of that scheduled time, or if they need to schedule a time, that's one thing. But to have a full session, and again, this is not a safety concern or anything like that. And again, even if it was, that wouldn't be like a full length session. We want to make sure when providing couples counseling that all parties are on the same page and discuss things together. And that brings us to the correct answer of C, encourage the client to discuss it at the next session. When working with a married couple, If one of the clients contacts the social worker and asks to discuss something pertaining to their marriage individually, the social worker should respond by reinforcing the importance of confidentiality in the therapeutic relationship. It's couples counseling, not individual therapy. The social worker should encourage the client to discuss their concern during the next scheduled session. And although I put married couple right here, this is any couples, right? Any couple coming in, regardless of title, it will be the same approach. We want all parties on the same page, no triangulation going on where, we're talking to this person within the couple, and then this person, and imagine we're talking to this person, having separate conversations. So we're having separate conversations with this person, separate conversations with this person, and then the flow of conversations is a bit different when we're all together because each person has different information that the other party doesn't. And again, it impacts the helping process for couples as a whole. So that's why, again, the correct answer would be C. Encourage the client to discuss it at the next session so we're all on the same page. Okay, tribe, thank you for tuning in. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell a social work friend because we don't want to be licensed by ourselves. All the study group information will be down below in the description. And don't forget to do your at least 2 practice questions a day and 1 practice exam a month. It helps keep the exam anxiety at bay. Do 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day, 2 a day. I don't care if we do 1 million on Monday. We still want to make sure that we're doing at least 2 on Tuesday and at least 1 practice exam a month to really put us in that exam shape to go in there and pass our exam. Check out Social Work Test Prep for all your practice exam needs and use code RayTube25 for 25% off. And most importantly, keep in mind, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. Link up with a study buddy, whether at your university, in our Facebook group, anywhere, honestly, and support each other, help each other throughout this process, get licensed, and we're going to keep moving on in our career. You got this. All right, tribe, I'll see you next video.